Welcome back to Birds of a Feather. This is your daily Baltimore sports podcast. My name is Nathan Stroud, and today we're going to be going over the Rockies and Orioles Game 2 of this 3-game series. And let's just say that it was a very, very fun day for the Baltimore Orioles as they went out and got an 18-0 win over the Colorado Rockies. This is more like it. This is more like I thought the series would go. Obviously not winning 18-0, but just, domination over a Rockies team whose pitching is not very good. But overall, this Orioles game was perfect from start to finish. Trevor Rogers went 7 innings scoreless and had another masterclass of a game. And we're gonna have to start having some real conversations about Trevor Rogers because he has been absolutely on fire this season for the Orioles in his now 8 starts this year. And also the offense obviously was perfect in this game, putting up 18 total runs in this game. And just overall, it was an absolute massacre for the Orioles. It was the biggest shutout win in the team's history, an 18-0 win. The offense did its thing, obviously. The pitching was amazing. An all-around fantastic game for the Orioles. And, amidst the time with the trade deadline and how stressful it is of people, getting traded. And obviously the Orioles are big sellers at this deadline. So it's obviously, a very weird time for the players and obviously for the fans as well. But also, just in a time where the season has not really gone the way they would have hoped, getting a nice little, 18-0 win every so often is a lot of fun. And when it does happen, you really enjoy and appreciate the moments. Obviously, we know that the Orioles season is over, right? We know that they're not playing for anything. But these little, blowout wins that they get where they look absolutely on point, and the offense is going out there and doing great, and there's a lot of, great things going on. You really cherish those moments and you really enjoy those moments. And I think from the way that this Orioles season has been, and especially with Orioles seasons in the past when they've been bad, you really learn to enjoy these great wins. And I feel like Orioles fans really deserve this, man. There's been a lot of stuff going on this year. There's been a lot of injuries. There's been a lot of horrible losses. Obviously, the 24-2 loss I'm thinking of. Obviously, all the injuries near the beginning of the season. And just all of the horrible losses in general. But to get one of these wins is very nice and it is very exciting. And overall, just an amazing game for the Orioles. Also, later on in this episode, we are going to be going over and talking about day 4 of Ravens training camp practice. Obviously, training camp is among us in football, and football season is just right around the corner. So a few updates here and there from Ravens training camp. Nothing too crazy today. Kind of highlighted mostly on 2 to 3 players today. But we'll go over that. We'll go over that near the end of the video. But let's just go over this Orioles and Rockies game because there is a lot to go over. So going over this Orioles and Rockies game. Obviously, it was an absolute, complete, and total domination by the Baltimore Orioles. They win this game 18-0. Their record moves to 46-58. They're still 12 games below 500. But damn, this game felt good to watch. So overall, the offense was amazing. 18 hits, 18 runs scored. They hit 3 home runs in this game. Multiple different Orioles with multi-hit games. Let's actually count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different Orioles had multi-hit games. Multiple different players had multi-RBI games as well. And obviously 3 home runs hit as well in this game. So overall, it was an excellent game. Very fun game overall, so we're just going to be going over all of it right now. Jackson Holliday in this game, he is one of those players with multiple hits. He goes 2 for 6 with a run scored. Also, the Orioles went 11 for 19 with runners in scoring position. So that is an incredible stat. And obviously, you're going to win 99.99999% of games you play with a stat like that. But the Orioles pitching obviously today was excellent with Trevor Rogers. We'll go over his stat line in a second. But Jackson Holliday had a 2-hit day. He goes 2 for 6 with an all-run scored. Jordan Westburg went 1 for 5 with 2 runs scored and an RBI. Gunnar Henderson with a 3-hit day had the most hits on the Orioles today. He goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. That is the Gunnar Henderson that we know and love. The little, nice 3 for 4, 2 RBI, 2 runs scored Gunnar Henderson. So he had an excellent day. He also got walked as well. Ryan O'Hearn, it was his birthday today as well, so shout out to Ryan O'Hearn. Happy birthday to him. He went 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a run scored. Ramon Laureano, and I do want to talk about Ramon Laureano just for a quick second. Ramon Laureano in this game had 3 at-bats, went 1 for 3 with a run scored, so, he did fine. But Ramon Laureano did get taken out of the game. I don't know exactly when it was, but he did get taken out of the game somewhat early in this game. And obviously, when you're around trade season, and Ramon Laureano has gotten a ton of trade interest due to just him having a really good year. But Ramon Laureano did get taken out of this game early, not because of due to injury. It was nothing injury related. He got taken out of the game a little bit early. And Kobe Mayo came in as a pinch hitter. He did his thing. Kobe Mayo was a pinch hitter, went 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs and a walk. So Kobe Mayo, again, he's starting to really get comfortable. Went 1 for 1 with 2 RBIs and a walk. So got on base in both of his plate appearances and, had 2 RBIs as well and scored a run. But Ramon Laureano did get taken out of the game early, and he did... and there wasn't any hugs that were going on in the dugout. That was something a lot of people were talking about because, again, when it is trade deadline season and you're a player on a team that is selling, like the Orioles, and you get taken out of the game randomly and you start hugging your teammate. Well, he didn't start hugging his teammates, but when you get taken out of the game randomly and you're a player that's gaining a lot of trade interest and you're on a team that's selling, a lot of questions start to pop up of, is there a trade in place for Ramon Laureano that happened behind the scenes. And as of right now, 9 o'clock right now today, there is no trade that has happened with Ramon Laureano. Do I think that he'll get traded? I would have initially said no. But if the trade package is big enough, then I would say yes. But, when it comes to who I think was going to get traded from this team, I said it was either going to be 1 or 2 of either, combination of Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, Cedric Mullins. I think it was going to be, 1 or 2 of those 3 total guys. I didn't think we were going to trade all of them. I thought, we were going to trade Seranthony Dominguez, Gregory Soto, 1 of either Zach Eflin or Charlie Morton, and then 1 or 2 of those position players. But as of right now, there's no Ramon Laureano trade. But I will say that if Ramon Laureano does get traded, it would really, really hurt because I am under the assumption still that this Orioles team can compete next year and can do well. I see this season as a big bump in the road and a big learning point for whoever our GM is going to be this season, whoever our manager is going to be next season, and whoever our GM is going to be this offseason. I don't think it should be Mike Elias. I don't know if he's going to get fired. I think it's very obvious that he should. But if it is Mike Elias or if it isn't Mike Elias, whoever it is, this past offseason and the way that this season has gone is a big teaching lesson. It's just a big learning point for how you should kind of handle an offseason. And I think that the Orioles will do a lot better job at being aggressive and being in a better position heading to the season than they were. Obviously, they're going to get a lot of injuries back. Guys like Kyle Bradish, are somewhat close to returning. The position players should be good to go. Grayson Rodriguez, I don't know what's going on with him. But I think that the Orioles will attack this offseason a lot more different than they did this past year. But again, that's a story for another day. But I was under the assumption that Ramon Laureano could play a big part next season. But who knows at this point? Honestly, who knows what's going to happen? The Orioles just might kind of trust in the guy that they paid in Tyler O'Neill, trade Ramon Laureano for assets and move forward, which I understand. But again, we will see what happens. These next 4 or 5 days are going to be crazy, and not really much has happened trade deadline wise, but I do think that come Monday it's going to really start ramping up because this is the weekend, and it doesn't really matter too much. But I think once Monday comes around, things are really going to start popping off with the trade deadline. But going over the next batter, Colton Cowser in this game goes 1 for 3 with 3 runs scored and 2 walks. So he gets on base 3 times. Tyler O'Neill with another excellent game. That is back-to-back great games by Tyler O'Neill. He's been starting to really heat up. His average goes up to a 211. So his average, is finally back in the 200s. So shout out to Tyler O'Neill. Obviously, he hasn't played a lot this season. But he's, over the past 2 games, he's really started to play like the Tyler O'Neill that we paid and the Tyler O'Neill that we signed and had all these expectations for. In this game, he goes 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, and 2 walks. So 4 total base appearances, 3 runs scored, and he also had a 2-run homer in this game as well. So back-to-back games with a home run for Tyler O'Neill. He's one of the 3 players that hit one. And overall, it was just a great game from him. Alex Jackson came in as a pinch hitter late in the game, and he had 1 at-bat, and he hit a solo home run in his only at-bat off of a position player, but still. And then Cedric Mullins goes 2 for 3 in this game with a run scored, and he also had a 3-run homer in this game. 2 for 3, 3 RBIs, 1 homer, and 1 run scored as well. Obviously, the 3 RBIs coming from that 3-run homer. And Cedric Mullins also made an incredible Gold Glove-like play in center field. We've seen this countless times with him. He's one of the best defensive center fielders in baseball. We know this. And he made another, amazing play, but he did make it look routine, like we've seen a lot this year from him, or just seen over his career. And the home run that he hit today was also his 100th career home run for Cedric Mullins, and he is back up to 14 home runs, and it is also back to a 3-person tie for the most home runs in the Orioles, with it being Ramon Laureano, Jackson Holliday, and now Cedric Mullins again. Dylan Carlson came in as a pinch hitter. He got a hit and a run scored, and then Jacob Stallings went 1 for 5 with a hit and a run scored and an RBI as well. So an incredible game for the Orioles. Obviously, on offense, it was an absolute massacre for the Orioles. They did their thing. They move on to tomorrow in Game 3 of the series. Tomorrow is the rubber match game. If the Orioles win, they win the series. If the Orioles lose, they lose the series. And after what I watched today, the countless errors, the countless mistakes, and obviously winning the game 18-0. If we go tomorrow and lose the series, because at the end of the day, that's all that really matters. I've said this all year. It doesn't matter if you win 1-0 or win 18-0. A win is a win at the end of the day. And if we lose tomorrow, it's gonna be bad, because again, you're still losing to the series to the Rockies. And when you look at how they played today, it would be even more embarrassing if we ended up losing tomorrow. But going over to the pitching, the man of the day, obviously there was multiple players on offense who had excellent days, but I want to talk about somebody who continues to prove everybody wrong this season, and that is Trevor Rogers, who, it's really unbelievable. I've said the story so many times how, we traded Cal Stowers and Connor Norby to the Marlins for him last year at the trade deadline. We traded for Trevor Rogers. And he in the 6 starts he had with the Orioles, he was horrible in all of them. Got sent down to AAA, dealt with some injury stuff, but whenever he was playing in AAA, he was even worse than he was, in the majors. And he was playing horrible in AAA. He was playing horrible in AAA at the beginning of this season. And then the Orioles got desperate for pitching. We called him up. He did really good. We sent him back down. We called him back up because we were desperate, and he has not seen AAA since, and he most likely, hopefully, will not see AAA for a long time for the Orioles, because Trevor Rogers in today's game gets a win. This was his 8th start of the season, and he is 4-1 in his 8 credited games, a 4-1 record. And today he got through 7 innings of work, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, 0 runs, and had 5 strikeouts in the process. And 96 pitch count across 7 innings. He worked his ass off, and his ERA goes down to a 1.49 across 8 full starts. And also, in his 8 starts he's had with the Orioles, in 4 of those 8 starts, he has pitched a shutout in 4 of those 8 starts, which is incredible. It's unbelievable what Trevor Rogers is doing. Not only has he been the best pitcher on the Orioles by far this season, it's not even close. It is a smaller sample size with only 8 starts, but he has been one of the best pitchers in all of baseball in these 8 starts. Literally, one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. His batting average against is low, his whip is low, his ERA is very low. The strikeout numbers are there. The strikeouts aren't like a ton, but they are there. And Trevor Rogers has been excellent for the Orioles this season. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Trevor Rogers, again, he's young. He's under contract for another 2 years for the Orioles. He's going to be a mainstay in this Orioles rotation. When the Orioles needed a quote-unquote ace the most, Trevor Rogers is here to save the day. And I'm going to be honest with you, I would not be surprised in the slightest if, as long as Trevor Rogers continues what he's doing, or at least close to what he's doing for the rest of the season, if he has good spring training, I'm not going to lie to you guys. I would not be surprised if Trevor Rogers is the opening day starter for the Orioles next season. That's if we don't go out and, have a major blockbuster trade. But Trevor Rogers is really performing like an ace, like a true ace right now. He's been excellent for the Baltimore Orioles, and I just could not be happier for him. I'm so excited to hopefully have him a part of his future as a mainstay in this rotation alongside guys like Kyle Bradish and Trevor Rogers, and then whoever else we try and go get in free agency or whatever the plan is this offseason, because it is going to be a very busy offseason for the Orioles in terms of who they want to re-sign, who they want to actually go out and sign or trade for. Obviously, we'll get to that more when the season ends. We still, are in July. But Trevor Rogers, he's been excellent this season, absolutely excellent. With about 2 more months left of baseball left to play, Trevor Rogers is proving everybody, and I mean everybody, wrong, and I could not be more proud of him. And then the rest of the bullpen did its thing. Cade, Stroud, and Geraldo did their thing. Pitched a shutout, an 18-0 shutout for the Baltimore Orioles. It was an absolutely great game. And then tomorrow in Game 3 of this series, it is going to be Tomoyuki Sagano on the mound against Austin Gomber. Again, Sagano has been on a pretty cold streak here recently for the Orioles. He has not had the greatest stretch of starts. If we go and we actually look at his starts here recently, they're not great. 3.2 innings, 3 runs, 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 innings, 6 runs, 5 innings, 7 runs, 3 innings, 3 runs. So when he's given up 3 runs, he's not really going far into the game, and then he's given up like 6 or 7 runs on other instances as well. So overall, not great for Tomoyuki Sagano, but hopefully tomorrow against the Rockies, he can lock it in and the Orioles can go out there and pick up a win. And I also hope that the Orioles didn't use all of their runs in this game, and hopefully they can still go out there tomorrow and have a great offensive day as well. So that was the Orioles game. Obviously, it was a spectacular game, but I do want to go over and talk about a little bit over the Ravens training camp. And there really isn't much to go over today regarding Ravens training camp. The big thing that I do want to talk about is Tyler Loop, who has been excellent for the Orioles. Oh my God, has been excellent for the Ravens this spring training or this training camp. Ravens practice just concluded. It was another perfect day for rookie kicker Tyler Loop, who made, I think, all 6 of his kicks today. And I think overall in this training camp, Tyler Loop is 23 for 23 in his practice kicks. He's practiced on 3 of the 4 days. He has been excellent for the Ravens, and the Ravens might have found their next guy, man. Justin Tucker obviously was the longtime Raven, Hall of Fame kicker, one of the greatest of all time. Ravens fans didn't need to have to worry about having a good kicker because we knew we already had one. But it looks like if Tyler Loop can translate this over to the regular season and over obviously to the playoffs, we'll see what happens with that. But Tyler Loop has been very impressive during training camp, and he's pretty much won that starting kicker job. But also some other people that had good days were Jair Alexander. Obviously continues to just be elite during training camp alongside Malachi Starks, who is really turning heads at practice. Malachi Starks has been excellent. Jair Alexander has been excellent. Zay Flowers has been excellent. And Lamar Jackson obviously continues to just be excellent and make things look easy for the people around him. But Ravens practice has been fun. It's been really cool, not only for the Ravens, but in the NFL in general, to see everybody out there with their new teams, all the players on new teams, obviously all the new players on the Ravens as well. It's just been cool to see everyone out there playing because it really sets the tone and gets you in the mood for football season. And it really is the big indicator that football is right around the corner when you see all this training camp footage from all the different teams across the league. It is a ton of fun, and I could not be more excited for Ravens season. But thank you guys so much for tuning into and listening to this episode of Birds of a Feather. If you like this content, make sure to subscribe on YouTube, follow up on Spotify, and make sure to like the video on YouTube as well. And if you want more content, make sure to follow my Twitter, make sure to follow the Instagram. On Instagram, I post updates on every single time an episode's out, and on Twitter, I'm live tweeting reactions to all the Orioles games, all the upcoming Ravens games, and all of the news that comes through live as well. So make sure to give those a follow. I'll have an episode up sometime tomorrow afternoon after this Orioles and Rockies game. It is a little bit earlier of a game, so it is an afternoon day game. So I should have the episode up sometime pretty early. So hopefully the Orioles can go out there and just secure the series win tomorrow and move forward and not have to worry about losing to the Rockies in a series. Because today was a great day. It was a great win. But they still are in danger of losing the series because they lost in game 1 of the series. So they got to go out there, take care of business tomorrow, and we'll see what happens with that. Obviously, any sort of major trades that the Orioles, any sort of major trades that happen for the Orioles, we'll go over in like a bonus episode once they happen. As of right now, there's been nothing going on. Maybe in like 2 hours there might be a major trade, so I'll come back on here and talk about it. Again, trade deadline season is crazy, and a lot of different things can happen, and who knows when people are going to get traded. I might wake up tomorrow and, Ryan O'Hearn could be off my team. So, who knows what's going to happen with that. You got to stay very alert this time of year in baseball. But it is, an exciting time overall for a lot of different teams. Maybe not for the sellers like us, but, overall, baseball is thriving right now. So, that is good for the sport. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Y'all have a great STL's night. Y'all have a great STL's day. And I'll see y'all later. Go O's, go Ravens, and I'll see y'all later. Peace out.